Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to talk about this guy again. It's going to be exposing TechUtopia part 2. Woo! Basically I am going to go through this shit again and yeah, it's going to be fun. This is a really strange video. So basically, to give some context, the first video, a lot of people have pointed out that that I did a quote-unquote bad approach. That's the main criticism, and this is absolutely true. I did it on purpose, though, because I evaluate this guy to be... He has a certain ego, right? He has a really certain ego. The best way to get his attention is, to call him out on something, and then obviously, to tell him that he's basically a scumbag. And guess what? It worked. The only real surprise that it actually took so long. So why did I want his attention? Well, not really his attention, more his user base, because I feel that his user base needs to be informed about the things he's actually spreading. It's basically me trying to fix his mistakes. And for those, I mean, there's definitely going to be a lot of people who's going to hate on this particular video. They're not even going to watch it. They're just going to be like, oh god, I hate this guy, I'm going to dislike. But they're basically what I will call a sheep. Sheep just follow things. They don't think, they just do things. And, I'm not really interested in those, because they will eventually follow along, because as I said, they're sheep. They will eventually follow, the mainstream. What I'm interested in is actually, enlightening those people who are legitimately curious and who will basically, steer the sheep. So let's go and start with his video here, which already, like, this in itself is already speaking for itself so much. It's actually insane. So put a reminder, blah blah blah. I got attacked by some devs. This is my video. Watch the full video till the end. Very important. He's not talking about my video. He's talking about his own video. Nah. This day made a hate video because I make HNS videos. Yeah, this is grossly oversimplifying it. The reason I made the video was to make sure that people understand that what you're actually doing is promoting spyware and, also giving this company that spreads the spyware money. There's a reason why HNS is not in a Play Store, dude. And then he proceeds to say, it is fine, it's freedom of speech, his video is here. What is crazy, he deleted so many comments from my followers on his own. So the fact that he knows this is already concerning, because this implies that he somehow sent people out to, write comments on the video. Just write comments, man. You should do it. Which, I don't like it, man. I'm not saying you did it, I'm saying it's implying that you do. So, just saying so you know the difference. Because I can kind of tell by this English that you might not exactly know what I mean, like, when I say words sometimes. Not in an insulting way, it's not your first language, and neither is mine, but I use it on a daily basis at least. So, to clarify, I never deleted a single comment. It's YouTube. If you post insulting comments, like saying, oh, you're a shit faggot, blah, whatever, YouTube will automatically delete it, provided it's from the phone, like from the Android phone. You cannot, for some reason, the desktop is like, yeah, you can post whatever you want, but when it's specifically from the phone, it's like, nah, it goes through some filter or some shit, and then boom, it doesn't appear. So I didn't delete a single comment. I'm just telling you this right now. I didn't delete a single comment on my entire video, because I am pretty much freedom of speech. You can say whatever the hell you want, and everyone who's on my Discord knows this. There's a specific user, I don't like him, and if he posts shit, he triggers me. But I'm still letting it stand, because it's his stuff. He wants to say it, and I'm not gonna kick or ban him because he's an idiot. He is allowed to be an idiot. It's not a crime, even though I don't like it. What tells you about this dev? Well, it tells you that I understand the YouTube algorithm better than you do. That's the only thing that really tells us at this point. Very weird person. Can't really deny that. I am weird indeed. He also shared a fake video on his channel. I didn't share it, I made it. Also, it's not fake. What the hell? It is fake. What makes you say that? Other people ask him to provide proof, he ignored them. Yeah, of course I did. Do you really think I want to now start making a, more dynamic version so you can load all types of... Because I'm telling you this right now, the version you saw in my video was like extremely hard-coded. It's rough. It doesn't have an interface or anything. It's just like... The buttons were literally hard-coded. The inputs were hard-coded, okay? You can't really use it on any other device than mine, because it's really just because I can't be bothered, right? It's more of just a fun experiment rather than, an actual release, because I don't have time, or I can't be bothered to actually maintain it, because I would have to maintain it in the end, because nobody's gonna maintain it for me, because the user base in itself is pretty self-entitled, and it's pissing off the entire open source community, which it's already pretty much being shown multiple times by now. He somehow finds it okay to share fake videos on his YouTube. Okay, fake videos? Multiple. I would like you to call more, I want to show you, I want you to show me all the fake videos, because I'm legitimately interested on the channel, but finds it wrong to showing me real emulation gameplays on my, no, I don't, honestly, I'm going to tell you this right now, like right off the bat, okay? I literally appreciate the fact that you show gameplay from Dolphin, from, you know, Drastic maybe, or whatever, right? From all these legit emulators, I appreciate the fact that you do that, because I really feel it doesn't only show the user what they can buy in order to, you know, what they can expect in terms of performance if they want to emulate stuff, but it also kind of, you know, shows off the hard work that people from Dolphin team or the Drastic team or whoever the hell you might, Citra team or whoever, right? You show off their hard work by showing, hey, it runs so great on a phone, and I can really appreciate that. What bothers me is when you start promoting spyware, when you make an actual Facebook page promoting fucking spyware to your own user base. You're literally selling them junk while also giving them spyware, telling them to share all their identity and all their data to Chinese companies because you want to have some money. That is insane, dude. That is the insane attitude. And the thing is, I don't even know if you're aware of this. I think you are. I legitimately think you are aware of this. You are fully aware of the fact that you're literally spreading spyware to people. This is why we're bothered. Just in case you didn't realize it yet. Wouldn't care that much, but more devs attack me in the comments on my own videos. I cannot say that I'm surprised. I literally cannot say that I'm surprised. And some devs are also talking behind my back some bad words about me. Obviously, I mean, you spit in their face. What, do you want a cake from them? Like, seriously. People I respect and trust told me this. Anyone could have told you this. Literally anyone. This video is for all the devs who want me to stop and those devs who talk bad behind my back. Yeah, okay. Thank you, I guess. According to your other video, I guess we should appreciate it and kneel before it, maybe. Be a real man and make a video with your face shown like I did. Don't hide behind. I don't get this. What? Why does it matter how anyone looks like? Does it really matter? I don't care how you look like. I legitimately do not give a shit how you look like. I don't care how the user team developers look like. I don't need their identity. I don't need their fucking face. I don't need anything. I just need them. I just need to know basically in what way they matter to me. That's it. That's all I care about. I really don't care about how I look like. So this in itself is just weird. This is weird. Like, what do you want? Do you want to look me up or something? Do you want me to do you want to kiss? I don't know. Do you want to find out if I'm attractive or not? I'm not sure what you want with this. What's the point of showing my face to you? Legitimately, what do you want me to do? So let's go into the video here, and I already watched it. He has a couple things that is a little bit interesting, but I feel that he's really manipulating. He's trying to manipulate at least a little. Trying to manipulate a lot. So let's get into it. And as I said, this video is not going to be very much with like him. It's going to be more about what he's doing. So let's go.
Just welcome back. Peace be upon you. Here we go, another video. This time we're going to talk about some controversial topic, and like the title says,
yeah, controversial indeed.
Some devs hate me, or just simply some devs, they want me to completely stop making videos about Agonist emulator and Daemon PS2 emulator, but mainly about the Agonist emulator.
Well, the reason for that is very simple, because you're basically spreading spyware. We want to protect your own users from you. That's literally, we don't care about you making dolphin videos. We appreciate those. We don't care about you making videos about phones, because, I mean, we don't really care, but pretty sure you users appreciate it. But we do care if you suddenly start spreading spyware in the Android community. That pisses us off. And it's not only that, it's like, obviously, the user team and people who respect users' work, they are already pissed about the fact that they stole this, like the Agonist team stole the source code and are selling it. So basically they take other people's work and just sell it to other people. That itself is triggering a lot of people. But the thing that triggers me the most is the fact that you're spreading spyware. I fucking hate you for that, dude. Okay, I don't really hate you because I don't know you. I can't really hate you. I dislike you for that. That's all I can tell you.
There are some reasons. I was very silent for a long time. I was very silent, guys. I was hiding some things which are
Yeah, hiding some things indeed.
a little bit kind of bothering me regarding some devs. In the past maybe 6-8 months, I received a few comments from the devs. I don't have proof that there are devs from the Yuzu project or devs from a different project, guys. I don't have a proof. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know the.
It doesn't really matter because this is more of a general thing what you're doing. The thing is, it doesn't matter if it's a developer like from the user team. It doesn't matter if it's from Skyline. It doesn't matter if it's like me, an independent developer that just does programming in his free spare time, that just digged into emulation a little bit and makes his kernel and whatnot. It doesn't matter what type of programmer you are. The fact is, we know how it is to, you know, do open source stuff for free and then getting spit at in the face. And then, you know, not only that, but some people promoting that also. That is just disgusting. And that's what makes people really angry. So you more than certainly do not have user developers. I don't think user developers have enough time, because as far as I know, they really are, they don't really have much time to actually, you know, go on your video and just watch them or write any. I don't think they have time for that. I think there's just people like me who do all other open source stuff or have time in that specific time where I made the video. I had a lot more time. So when it comes to that, I really have to say that more than likely those were just, you know, other type of developers that just understand what the user team is going through right now because of you. Like, not only you, obviously. It's not like you're fucking the one on and be all. You're not that big. I mean, we know that, but you are one of many. And if we can just make at least one channel just at some point like acknowledge the fact that they should probably stop, you know, spreading spyware to their own fucking user base, that's already a win for us. So that's all we want, really. We just want to protect your own user base. That's it. That's literally it. Just saying.
Real names behind these nicknames, etc., but they're being basically presenting themselves as devs. And I received a few comments, people kind of attacking me, saying me, stop making these kind of videos. I mean, I don't know, are they sending comments to different YouTube channels? Because I'm not the only guy in the world.
Yes, they are. I can tell you 100% you're not the only one that receives these kinds of comments. That is guaranteed, mister.
That is making emulation videos. They are much more popular, more famous YouTube channels with more subscribers, more views than me. So I don't know why devs decided to attack my YouTube channel, guys. I just simply don't understand. I'm gonna even show you one video, and I'm gonna leave the link in the description.
Spoiler alert, he never showed my video. He just mentioned it. Makes me a little sad, but it is what it is. I mean, what you gonna do about it? Sad.
This guy is called, oh my god, I don't know, did anybody kind of cursed more than me, use so many bad words to me.
Really? Nobody has cursed more? I feel privileged at this point. Yes, I am very rude at times. I can be very rude.
Towards me, so much hate, guys, so much hate. But I would really advise you, please do not report his YouTube channel, do not report his video. I know it's full of hate. I can easily report it, but I don't want to do that. He has his freedom of speech, let's say it like that. You could leave a comment, dislike or like the video, I don't care. You can subscribe him, unsubscribe him, but don't report his YouTube video, guys. Don't report that. He has a freedom of speech. He can say whatever he wants, and you can even leave your own thoughts in his YouTube channel. And in this video, we're going to discuss about,
I mean, you're kind of advocating that by saying they have to, you know, put their own thoughts, quote unquote. I mean, you're obviously trying to manipulate them into thinking, oh yeah, he doesn't want us to, but we should still leave our thoughts. Come on, dude. Don't do that. Just say that, right? I mean, be like me. Just say what you think. It's way better that way.
That video, which is called Exposing TechUtopia, and also right now discussing this topic about all the devs who contacted me in the last 6, 8, almost 1 year, previous 1 year, in the last,
he doesn't really, you know, talk about these devs. He mentions them a little bit, but he never really goes specifically into it. So, I don't know who they are.
Say 10-12 months, guys. Anyway, so first what I can tell you is yes, the GameSir X2, the Agonist switch emulator. So far I never received so much hate with the Daemon PS2 emulator example, because I started making Daemon PS2 like 3.5 years ago, something like this.
The reason for that is because not only was the community back then much smaller, not only was the emulator itself just, not only was the like your channel was also smaller, so obviously you didn't get as much exposure. And back then, if I remember correctly, the app was not literally spyware. It changed over time. I think the 2 point something update made it spyware at this point. This is when the company figured out, hey, we can not only steal code and sell it, we can also, mine data and gain even more money. Ooh, see, this is why it kind of changed over time. Just saying.
Nobody ever bothered to like kind of attack me or make some exposing video about me regarding testing the Daemon PS2 Pro emulator. Even since I never shared a download link of the Daemon PS2, I never kind of told you to buy the Pro version. I did advise you, if you don't want to have like scammy ads and...
Yeah, again, it's the same point in my first video. Just because you don't directly say it does not mean you can, imply it. I mean, by showing off, by, just look here, it's so great. Oh, it's so, you constantly say the emulator is great, it's fantastic, it's so blah. By doing that, you're basically promoting it. You're saying, you're implying this is a good buy. It's very, very, very simple. Just because you don't say it like directly doesn't mean you didn't say it indirectly or implying it. And obviously you know that you were implying it. You don't need to act stupid about it. You definitely know that you are definitely promoting it. Now, again, with the Daemon PS2, you get less hate because you're not as, as extreme and obvious about it. So yeah, I guess, but it's still bad that you do it because you're promoting spyware. And again, don't do that, man. Don't do that.
Honestly, it sucks. Daemon PS2 sucks. The free version completely sucks. I mean, why would I say it's a great emulator in that side? Yes, we can be kind of realistic. It is the fastest PS2 emulator in the world. Nothing can obviously beat the Daemon PS2. That's a fact, guys. It's just a simple fact here.
I mean, he's right. You can say whatever you want, but he is right. You can say however shit the Daemon PS2 performs. It doesn't matter how much the Daemon PS2 just sucks ass in terms of with the hacks and showing 60 FPS, even though it's more like frames skipped 15 frames per second or something like that. It's still the best performing emulator we have right now, and it's just giving you a really good idea that nobody really bothered with making a PS2 emulator. But here's something you should probably know. Because people were so self-entitled and, just flat out annoying, there were actually multiple developers who wanted to make a proper port of the, PS CX2 onto an Android phone. However, they always stopped development because people, and this is going to be TechUtopia as well, instead of just, being more curious and asking questions, or maybe just being patient, they would just be very quickly to call out and be like, oh, it's fake, it's garbage, you trash, fucking blah, make it now, release it now. They cannot even be bothered to finish, like to give the developer time to actually finish his thing, because you need to understand, when we have something in testing, it's far from finished for users to actually be able to use it properly. We first make it so that it basically, we do tests, like we don't... Okay, so give you an idea. When we develop something, let's say we want to make an emulation, the first thing we do is we make the core functionality. So we put in a lot of stuff that is basically core functionality, how it runs the games, how it runs basically the entire system, how it emulates, yada yada, compiling, blah blah. And then a lot of things are just hard-coded. What we typically will be doing is, before we even make an interface where you can, choose a ROM or BIOS or whatever, we will then first do something like, I don't know, just hard-code it to a specific game, and then use that game as a test, and then, like what I did with my user stuff, where I just where I just hard coded the mapping of my gamepad to inputs to the actual emulator. It's stuff like this where it's just nowhere near ready for production, right? And people are already screaming, release it now, give it to us. And obviously you don't want to release in that state, because then people are going to complain about it. Oh, why can I do this? Why can I do that? Why do I have to do this? So it's going to be just much more pain in the ass. And because people can't be bothered to wait, and people should just start being really, really annoying, then people just going to, then obviously developers like me just going to be like, fuck this shit. Why even bother? I'm not going to spend my free time to make something for people who are constantly shitting on me. It doesn't matter that it's just, that it's a handful, because it's only a handful that you need to just piss you off enough to the point where you just don't care anymore. It doesn't matter if, let's say, 50 people are saying, yay, you do a good job, when 5 people are just constantly fucking spamming you, shitting on you, and you just like, leave, what the hell, man? Just let me finish this. At some point, you don't care. And this is basically what happens. So I think there are multiple instances where there was basically a, alpha version of a working, PS2 emulator, but it just, in the end, the developer stopped because the community just wouldn't be patient. They would just constantly shit on them, troll them, and whatnot, and then they're surprised. I mean, I think the latest one was a guy in, I think he was in a Skyline Discord or something, or I'm not sure. I heard the story. I saw some screenshots. It was some Russian dude. If someone has more on the story here, I'm pretty sure a lot of people in Discord basically know the entire story, but that's the latest I'm aware of. He's not the first. He's probably not going to be the last either. But until the community is actually more aware of how, the open source developers work, and just, the only thing we open source developers want is just that you guys appreciate our work. We don't want money. We don't want you to, hail us as gods or something. The only thing we want is to be patient, you leave us alone, and appreciate the fact that we, do work. Right? Just, appreciate our work. Just, don't be like, oh, fucking shit garbage, because there's no motivation for it anymore, right? If I do something for free and you just call it shit, garbage, blah, 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 and you keep on telling me to do things for you, then I won't have no motivation anymore to actually do anything for you. That's just what I'm saying right now. And this is why I am doing this entire thing, to spread more awareness from us developer side, how we actually have to work. It's not always, nice and all. I mean, the PC community is very different. It's actually interesting because the PC community is very patient, and they do like to, a lot of love, really. The PC community is way more loving, and I suppose it has a lot to do with the fact that smartphones are way more accessible, so the target group is probably also a lot younger, so people don't do things before they think a lot of times. It is what it is, and this is what I'm saying. I'm just giving you more of an idea how rough it is as a developer to actually do open source stuff in the Android community. This is why you also see less and less open source stuff for platforms like XDA. Compared to a lot of years back where it was thriving. So yeah.
You like it, don't like it, you like their policy, you like their team, you like the Chinese people behind that. I mean, I don't care, guys. It's just simple that is a raw fact that it is the best PS2 emulator right now in the market. It is a bit unsteady with the cheaper smartphones, with YouTube channel. You can dislike my YouTube channel, you can dislike that I make these emulation videos. My main purpose, and even 6 years ago when I started testing smartphones, is these emulators are the best application to test the real raw power of the smartphone, the optimization of the smartphone, the heating,
That's not entirely true. While yes, it is a very good benchmark, there are still games out there that just makes, smartphones go down on their knees. They're just games that are flat out more demanding than emulators, because the problem with emulators is a lot of times that they're very either GPU or CPU focused, depending on what you're playing. It's not a really good balance, while really high-end games these days actually utilize both a lot. To name one is like, Genshin Impact on max settings. It really does. I mean, it's not quite as demanding as, let's say, Twilight Princess on 4K in terms of pure graphics, but again, due to it being more demanding on a CPU, due to low frames on the Dolphin, on the actual game in 4K, it's not that demanding on a CPU compared to Genshin. So Genshin's power draw will be higher than actually on the emulator, even though the emulator has lower frames. That's just something you have to keep in mind. There's also a specific iPhone game, which is even more demanding than Genshin Impact. Yeah, believe it or not. I forgot the name of it. It's based on a series. I can look that up later if that's relevant in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, so just saying.
Thermals of the smartphone, they are the best, and usually the Agnes switch emulator is for me.
I like that. I like the fact that he was like, yeah, use Agnes. Whoopsie. Yeah, because you're fully aware of it.
The best right now regarding the battery consumption, power consumption, and heating. Obviously, how much the smartphone can overheat, heat up, etc., etc. Plus the RAM. They had the issue with the RAM, obviously. Eating this Agnes previous builds like 4 or 5 months ago, they've been eating a lot of RAM, but nevertheless these emulators are the best representative of the real raw power of the latest flagships, the GPU, obviously SoC. You can tell me you have their PUBG, we have Call of Duty, guys.
Yeah, those are lightweight games. Those are esports titles. Of course, they're not very demanding. I'm just saying.
Call of Duty, PUBG, even a mid-range device 3 years old can run these games so steady, guys, so steady.
This is basically also a very good indication of his actual intent. He's obviously more of a I want to make money as much as I can. This is why he now starts with top 5 gaming smartphone. This is completely unrelated to his current video, but he still just still shoves it in because he knows due to the affiliate links he has down below, he's gonna make money out of it. That's the only thing he cares about, man. If he actually cared about just making this video to make it right, he would not put advertisement in it like this. Just pointing it out to his quote-unquote real intentions, boys.
Yes, you can tell me, but what about screen recorder? What about high resolution, etc.? That's a different topic, guys. That's a completely different topic. What adding screen recorder? Can you tell me right now also live streaming, attaching like whatever? It's just a different topic. What I can tell you that the quickest way to see the performance, the difference between the last generation, new generation processors from Qualcomm or whatever different chipset is the emulators, guys.
That is absolutely wrong. So some people might have already seen my emulator video where I basically played Super Mario Galaxy without the CPU hack on 60 FPS, while a lot of people with the same SoC cannot. In terms of emulation, it is very dependent on the actual optimization of the phone. This has nothing to do with the actual SoC performance. In fact, right now we are kind of in a situation where we can have a lot better emulation performance if the phone manufacturers would actually optimize their phone a lot more. So yeah, this is not a really great way of doing it because emulation in itself really is not, it's not really that optimized, and it's more of a, it's not really the emulation, I guess. It's more of a mixture of the emulator and Android at the same time. It's a little iffy there, but there's definitely something going on with the emulation, like emulation in itself. I, for once, on my optimized ROG 3 with the custom kernel and whatnot, have vastly superior performance to even Snapdragon 888 chipsets. And that's even when, even when they run balls hot. So this is something that has to be mentioned. I mean, emulation isn't really that good in terms of, measuring a device's performance. More a way of measuring a device's optimization, maybe, but actual performance, it's a very iffy place. I wouldn't go there and say that. I think a game like Genshin Impact is probably a better benchmark, and even 3D Mark is probably even an even better benchmark. So just pointing that out.
Guys, the PPS, okay, not PPS, SPP, the Dolphin emulator, Damon emulator, and now this.
Why are you doing this? Is this really necessary, dude? Are you really that desperate for money? Is that what's going on? Seriously, man, stop it. This video is supposed to, solve some controversy, not to, you know, sell more gaming phones.
Switch emulator. These are the 3 best emulators to benchmark your smartphone with. And people respect me regarding that. They know me. If somebody is following me in the past 5-6 years, they know that this is kind of my standard policy, the standard way of me testing smartphones and these emulators. Dramas behind these emulators. I'm not saying that I'm 100 behind it, support it, I'm cheering for them, I'll give them all.
Again, point of my first video, actions speak louder than words. You, by making videos and telling us how great and fantastic it is promoting it. So you are standing behind of it, whether you like it or not. You don't have to directly say it. It's enough that you just go and promote it as much as you do. You even made a fucking Facebook page, which is all about how great the Egg&S emulator is. That is promotion, my dude. That is promotion. Just saying.
All my money so that they can do all of this drama. Why these devs are attacking me that way, man? It's like
as I already explained, this is like beating that horse. You are spreading spyware. You're spitting in open source developers' faces. This is why they hate you. This is why, man. Just giving you the heads up again.
Made these emulators. I didn't make these emulators, guys. I didn't make them.
Just give you an example here, right? Let's say you made a sculpture, right? You made the sculpture. Now some guy for free, right? Because you were nice. You were like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna make this in my free time. You're gonna spend a lot of time. You got a lot of love, right? You make the sculpture, and then some other guy's just taking the sculpture, making copies out of it, and then sells it to everyone saying he made it, right? And then there's another guy who makes promotions for it, saying, yeah, these sculptures made by this person, it's the greatest thing ever. You cannot, I mean, I can see your ego right now, right? I can see how you react in your comments and videos. You have a specific ego, and it's fine. You're a prideful person. That's absolutely fine. I'm a rather prideful person myself, so I can relate. You cannot tell me that you would not get pissed by it. There's no way in hell you would not get pissed by it in that situation, where someone steals your sculpture, gets all the credit for it, sells it, so you have basically worked for him for free and giving him all the credits, and then you basically have to deal with it. There's no way you would not be like, dude, what the hell, man? Why? You're a fucking pissant. There's no way you would not react like that. There's no way. There's literally no way you would not react like it. And other people who know the fact that you made the sculpture will obviously stand behind you, like specifically especially other sculptures, because they know how much love and effort went into it. They will stand behind you and be like, dude, this was not made by him. He's fucking lying. It was TechUtopia who made the sculpture, man. It's him. He gets all the credit. He made it for free, man. This guy is a fucking piece of shit. And then obviously you would have a really, not great relationship at this point, right? Because these people want to protect your work, and you're just in an awkward position because you want to try and move on, but you kind of can't, because everyone is now, speaking about your sculpture that you made, which is being sold for an overprice as well. And suddenly, when your name is also getting into it, sometimes you get like horrendous misunderstandings where suddenly the scummy pricing is somehow related to you. The same with the user team, because the Egg&S makes it so that also companies like Nintendo get more aware, and the user team also has to deal with that. They also have to deal with Nintendo, because in some way Nintendo is like, yeah, if user team did not do it, so I'm going to strike more on user team as well. It's all these kind of things you don't even consider. You're just completely clueless about all these things, and you still keep promoting it. Like, you want a free emulator, but you keep pissing in the face of people who actually make it. And then you're surprised why other people who can relate, or even the people themselves, are attacking you. What the fuck, dude? Are you actually insane? There's no way you cannot understand it now.
One of the topics, the controversial topics, is me making like a year ago about exposing the GameSet X2. It seemed that the people are kind of a little bit ignorant.
No, you're the one who's ignorant. It's not about as you're gonna explain in this entire period. It's not about the price. It's about the fact that you promote spyware. Still, this is the point you're not getting. I'm repeating it so many times because I sincerely hope you're going to watch this video and you're going to get it through your thick skull what you're actually doing. Because maybe you're unaware. Maybe you're not this fucking piece of shit that I think you are. Maybe you are actually just absolutely clueless, and you need to be told like 500 times until you actually understand what you're doing. Maybe you don't intend to fuck over your entire user base. I do not know. At this point, I'm just assuming based on your actions. I'm gonna openly admit that I don't have hard fact, but based on your actions, it seems very plausible and likely that you actually are well aware of what you're doing. This is why people hate you. This is why I dislike you, man. I'm just saying.
Very ignorant, not just a little bit, very ignorant, or they don't simply.
So this entire part is not very interesting. So
they didn't understand me. I just want to right now talk with you in so many different ways and to give you all my words about it.
Okay.
So yes, the devs from Yuzu and other devs want me to stop making against videos, guys. What do you?
Yes, correct. I'm not gonna beat the dead horse anymore. But yeah, that's exactly what I want.
Think about this. What do you think about this? Tell me in the comment section what do you think about this thing, about they hate, why they're doing that, why they're doing it only on my YouTube channel.
Again, this is just again a lie. This is just a lie. This is not only your YouTube channel, man. All YouTube channels that promote against will have these comments. You just mention them, while other channels just flat out deletes them or ignores them because they're just being, overrun by other, oh yeah, this is so great comments. But you're not the only one, dude.
I didn't saw anybody even reporting that the other devs are attacking their channel and telling them to stop making these videos. And like I said here, why the against emulator, right? I know that there's a journal behind it. They took some code or something like this from open source, but somehow everything will be fine if they right now, maybe next year, they make this project open source.
No, it's not gonna be fine. Because you still promoted spyware. Even if, for whatever reason, which is not going to happen because, oh god, that would actually expose some seriously questionable practices and would ruin the company in itself, they're not going to make that open source. So that's wishful thinking at this point. It would also expose the entire, the way it has been quote-unquote built. I mean, it's basically just a double emulator if you take it technically here. But yeah, it's very, very obvious that even if they make it open source, people are still... The thing is, the only way you can rectify this is by actually admitting the fact that you were either clueless or, were malicious on purpose. And you actually give out a warning saying, guys, this is fucking spyware. This is literally mining your data. This piece of shit also costs money and has been stolen, and you're basically spitting in every developer's face. Proceed with caution. This is what we basically expect you to. We expect you to, as a YouTube personality, to just inform your user base. Not be like, oh, look at this, it's so great, yay! That's not what we want. We want you to be transparent. We want you to be informed. We want you to, inform your user base about what they're actually looking at. They're looking at actual spyware. The same with the Daemon PS2. This is why you are getting more flack for it as well, because it turned into massive spyware over time. At first, it was just stolen code being sold. Then it turned to spyware, and so it made it even worse. So again, this is why you get the backlash, because you are literally promoting harmful things to the community, and it doesn't matter if it's performing great or shit or mediocre, whatever. It's spyware, and you're not telling anyone it's spyware, and that's our problem.
Then I'll be somehow magically these devs will not be angry with me.
No. As I said, you have to admit what you have done. You have to clarify that what those emulators you have promoted are. Then we will stop bothering you. For all we care, you can still make against videos if you want to, but as long as you put on the huge disclaimer of what it is on every single video, so that people cannot possibly get misled. So that if someone downloads against and pays for the gamepad, that they 100% know they're literally sending their data to China and paid for the fact that they're, then maybe, then people will stop, because you did whatever you could. I mean, you making video about against the performance, that in itself is like, yeah, it's fine, but you raving about it, not telling people what it is, that is a problem. This is why we don't like it.
somehow next year, if this maybe it's not going to be, it's a big chance that it's not going to be, probably they want to obviously profit like so many different brands. This is not just about the Gamester brand, guys. Apple, what Apple does, Apple is selling, guys, a simple napkin for what?
Yeah, that's a different thing. Okay, so he's gonna make a really dumb point that completely does. He's just, at this point again, there's no way. I mean, you already said that they stole source code from you, so you admitted it in your own video, and now you're misleading your audience once again, saying, "Oh yeah, but Apple overprices things. They can do that. So why can't they do that? Because it's not their property. Because they stole code. Because they're sending spyware. If Apple sends us, I mean, the fact that you're saying napkins for $20 and not mentioning the $1,000 stand. I mean, come on, dude. The $1,000 stand. I mean, even Apple themselves were so uncomfortable talking about it on their opening stage. They were like, the $1,000 stand, and just ran away. I mean, dude, but that's a completely different thing. It's their product. They can do whatever they want with their product. If it's overpriced, it's their thing. If the EGNS developers actually made their own emulator, like from scratch, their own emulator, boom, whatever, right? And they want to sell it just with the controller, and it costs for like here $200. Nobody will say anything against it because it's just what they want to do for their business. They're gonna say, yeah, it's overpriced, but it's still their decision. It's their product. They can do whatever they want with it. However, the moment you steal something, and the moment you offer something for quote unquote free, just to, you know, mine everyone's data, that is a problem. This is when developers don't want to get associated with in the first place. And this is when people get really, really angry, especially with you who promote this kind of thing. We are all aware you don't actively, you know, develop anything. We're aware of that. Don't worry. But we don't like the fact that you're promoting it.
$20, man. Who's talking about that? Why these devs are not talking about the Apple, and most of them probably even having Apple devices? Why you guys don't?
Oh, this is such a dumb argument. I can't believe it.
We talked about this. Will I continue? Of course I'm going to continue. I just this makes no sense, and I just want to report you about this hate, which I was.
Yeah, I think this entire thing we can completely skip, because he's basically just ranting about he's still gonna continue, yada yada yada. I mean, I hope that he's gonna watch this video and actually it's gonna finally get through his thick head what he's actually doing. Maybe he will then. I mean, let's give him the benefit of the doubt and let's just say he's just a thick-headed, very clueless person. And now after this video, he'll finally understand. Oh shit. Oh, so that's why. Oops. If that happens, then we got a winner. Then we finally stopped spreading spyware, even though it's not great because he already spread it a lot. I don't know how many of his user base is still going to. I mean, once the data sent, what are you gonna do, right? It's kind of shit, but it is what it is. So at least stop it at some point. And then he's on about how Gamester gave him a free gamepad, but he still didn't quote unquote promote it. Yada yada. I mean, again, the price is not the problem, dude. All right, so let's go with this one. I'm behind all the emulators.
Somehow, I'm right now the main dev of the Agnes emulator, the main.
Yes, it's just him being defensive again. So let's go for this one. This is actually an interesting part. I like this part.
The Yuzu devs. Open Patreon page specially for Android port of the Switch emulator. I will especially leave your link on every Agnes Switch emulator until you guys get all the budget that you need.
See, this is something I like a lot more. But instead of, you know, linking it on every, you know, EGNS video, whatever, you should just promote it just generally. So that because the thing is, a lot of developers just don't have time because they have to do their own living stuff. You know, they have to live a life. They can't just live out of Patreon donations, especially the Android community. As I said, the target group is a lot younger, so you don't really get that much donations in the first place. But if you can somehow make it that, let's say, especially in a more, you know, poor like developers in a more poor country, let's say, I don't know, let's take India for instance. If you can make GoFundMe or something like that, you know, like just find a little team, GoFundMe, give them enough money so they can develop for, I don't know, for X amount of months or maybe a year or so, and then make Patreon like more of a, you know, give them money over time. That could work. That could actually give, you know, developers that previously wouldn't be interested in, you know, doing that, because you don't understand how open source works. You don't need to have the user dev team to actually make it. they don't care. Like the user dev team is more focused on their actual emulator for now for the PC version. Normally, how you do you finish your main product and then you branch out into others because the architecture is different. So you actually need to implement a lot of different things. But what you can do is, since it's open source, you can create another branch, which is going to be the Android version, similar like what's happening on the Dolphin emulator, and find your own team there that could take care of it. Now, if you can find a developer that has time for it, then you can totally do it. Now, I know what you're thinking, and no, I don't have time. I can't even finish my Android 11 kernel. I literally don't have time for it. So don't even bother asking me, because I seriously don't have time. I could maybe help the developers working on it. Maybe I can give them a little, little how to port and stuff. Okay, that's very broad. That's very oversimplifying a port. No, but basically, I mean, I could probably chime in there at some point and help them out a little bit. But so far, I mean, I like the idea because it could actually give people who previously did not, simply wanted to do it but couldn't because of their living standards. So that's a nice idea, I guess. But the thing is, it'll only work if they have a certain amount they can spend. So the entire thing is how you want to pull it off without, just some guy making a random GoFundMe and just run off with the money, right? Because you don't know. So you should probably find at least a guy or a team of people who already in some way, shape or form have some sort of credentials, some sort of, I don't know, maybe GitHub repository or whatever the hell you have, portfolio. Maybe you have your own little portfolio showing some, I don't know, some project you've been working on. I don't know. I mean, 2021, you should have a GitHub repository if you're a developer anyways. So, yeah, maybe there you can find some proof that they know what the fuck they're doing, and then, keep on rolling, I guess. But yes, that is totally a valid thing to do. There you go.
For creating and making the Skyline or the Yuzu Android port better, obviously playable, better than.
But that's also a thing, right? Because we already have a user port, like not user port. It's going to be based more of a Ringjings, I think. I have not looked much into Skyline, to be perfectly honest. I really don't care that much about mobile emulation anyways, because I usually just play mobile games on the way, and if I'm home, I play PC games or emulate on my actual PC, so it's not like I care all that much right now. But yeah, I guess. I mean, you could support the Skyline team, I guess. But as far as if I remember correctly, they're not that experienced. They get help from the Eurings. I don't know how the fuck to pronounce it. I think they do get help from them occasionally, and it's getting slow. It's still rather slow. I mean, if you could somehow get developers that really know what they're doing, because as far as I know, the Skyline team is not necessarily young from an age, but more like from programming experiences. They're not as experienced, so they need a lot of help. So maybe you could, get some people who would get paid to basically teach them or just work on it generally. I mean, suppose you could do that. So yeah, but again, as I said, it's going to be difficult because the Android community is rather young on average, and there's definitely some older guys like you and me who are in the older target group, obviously. But I don't know how many of us is actually going to, donate to a project like that, honestly speaking. So I think it's gonna probably fall flat on its face. Maybe, I don't know. You can give it a shot though. You can instead of promoting the Against, you could actually try and Skyline. How many users? Like maybe, I don't know, some polls or something, or just figuring out how much money you would be able to make, and then contact the Skyline devs and see if you can somehow hire a lead developer that can somehow just run the project properly and help them out, help the junior devs out, and somehow steer the project in the right direction, because it is what it is.
Against emulator. Somebody calling me. I'm gonna be trustworthy and share in every single. Yes. So man, okay, let's do like this. I'm gonna open the Patreon page. I will support you. I will share all the links which you want. And silent. Everybody's silent. Everybody's silent. Nobody sent me any email. Nobody talked to me about that.
Because as I already pointed out, it's kind of difficult to pull off because you're making it sound really simple, but it's really not, because when you want to, spend money on a developer, how do you know the money gets to an actual developer, not just some guy who's going to run off with them, right? It's things like this. You need to kind of, consider.
If you are an emulator fan, nerd, or something like this, whoever you want to be called, player, ninja, you're gonna watch this video all of it, full of it, and you're gonna leave your own comments, your own thoughts in the comment section.
Yeah, this video had very little to do with emulator and more to do with you just being very defensive about the fact that people were ranting about you. This has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that you love emulator or not. This is just you about, I didn't do anything. Why are they all hating me? That's it in a nutshell. I mean, I'm sorry, dude, but that's literally your video in a nutshell. It is what it is. Now, I do hope you have watched my videos to the end, my video here to the end. And I really hope you got a lot more insight into what you're actually doing. If you, on the off chance, should actually just have been super ignorant. Obviously, if you're gonna watch this and you're gonna ignore this video, should basically just, at this point, it would just be very clear that you just don't care. You just want the money. Today, you don't care if you have to, send spyware around your community, as long as it gets you some money. Just saying. Yeah, that's it from my side. It's a very lengthy video, and if you've watched the entire thing, this goes to you, TechUtopia specifically. You can comment down on my video, maybe with your YouTube, with your Discord tag or something similar. For all I care, if you feel like, okay, you were a little more ignorant than you thought you'd be, you have questions, feel free to add me, and we can have a talk. I can tell you how it is to be a developer. I can tell you specifically more problems with the Daemon PS2 and the EGNS, obviously. And maybe you will then understand way more why people are angry at you. But something tells me you already know. I don't know. I still have the suspicion that you are the guy that just know exactly what you're doing. I have the suspicion you are that, that typical manipulative guy who has no interest in whether or not your community has spyware. If you spread spyware, as long as it gives you as long as it gives you money, that's all you want. So, as I said, it's just suspicion, just how you come, like how you seem to me. I'm just saying. So, yeah. As for the rest of my channel, to people on my channel watching this video, I hope you learned something. Yeah, and that's it from my side. And I think now everyone knows, don't touch Daemon PS2 or EGNS. Just a little side note here, because I think that will be very interesting for people who are interested in knowing, okay, how can I actually figure out if an emulator is spyware or not? The biggest giveaway, honestly, the easiest way to find out is just to check what kind of permissions the app needs. The moment it needs, location or contact, or access to camera, it's spying on you. Also microphone, obviously. The application is spying on you. There's no reason whatsoever for an emulator to have any of those features, maybe except for the drastic DS one, because there are some games that actually do use the microphone to do stuff. But Yuzu, generally something like Yuzu, EGNS, Switch emulator, whatever, or especially PS2, there's no reason whatsoever to have microphone, no reason whatsoever to have your location or any other contacts. Or in the worst case, when you are extra paranoid, you can also use other third-party apps, root your phone, and actually check what the application is exactly looking into. Is it just the save files folder, or is it actually trying to look into your pictures and stuff? That's something you can also investigate. Once you try to investigate on Daemon PS2 and EGNS, you will be shocked how much it actually mines on your data. You would be absolutely pissed at this guy here, TechUtopia, because he basically promoted a thing that is very detrimental for your identity, for your data, and obviously for your device. So yeah, that's it from me. I hope you learned something, and I think that's it.